Welcome to the Ugly Truth Sideshow, where we are talking about the end of the Golden Bachelorette with Joan, Chalk, Pascal, and Guy.
Yes.
Such boomer names.
Right?
A little. I never Googled Chalk. I'm so curious where that comes from.
I was going to Google him too.
Well, not him personally, but the name Chalk.
I kind of was curious to know because we obviously know what Pascal does, but the rest of them, it's like consultant. They're not really, or business executive. Like they're not really telling us specifically what they do.
For Chalk.
Is he insurance guy?
He's some kind of insurance executive. He has I could be wrong, and someone may correct me. He was bragging about his $1.3 million business.
Well, maybe he's just like a broker.
But maybe that's a lot of money in Kansas.
Well, what I'm saying is like if you're just like Allstate by Chalk, and you have an office,
right,
that would be a lot of money.
Well, it's a very good living, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
yes,
and,
you're right.
and also where he lives.
Yes.
I thought it was funny when they were doing the hometown visits. I know you already watched it, but I finally caught up.
Yeah.
And he was saying, I understood why you felt the way you felt when you were like, he's just so aggressive.
He's
like
a bit aggressive.
And so I was like, yeah, no, I see it. It does come off desperate and
or something.
Either, desperate or, you know what? For all I know, maybe he really feels like they had a connection. Like maybe they did something we don't know about. I don't know. But it was funny because he was like, when he was doing his confessional, he was like, I just really see that she's going to come to, where does he live?
Kansas.
Something in Kansas. And I'm like, I'm coming out of his mouth. I'm like,
right. No one wants to go to Kansas.
I'm like, she lives in the East Coast. I'll be like, you're coming to me.
But the big breaking news is they all went to Tahiti.
Yes.
She had her...
it's a 2-part finale.
Yes. So this was part 1.
Yeah.
She had her date with Guy. I think Guy is a little too ahead as far as feelings.
Did I watch it? Yeah.
He was just a little too, he almost started crying with her.
You know what? I don't think I watched it all the way.
It's okay.
I'm honestly, just like, wait a minute. I think I fell asleep. I remember
we saw all the dates. That's all we've seen. There's been no elimination. Chalk,
except for Pascal leaving.
Yes, so that was the big drama. Is Pascal shows up and he's already like, I just want to have a superficial, fun day,
and he could have fun with anybody.
And honestly, because this is TV, so they did all of this. They did this bonding ceremony where it felt like a wedding,
right?
And they're washing away. They're like getting ocean water, going, I want to wash away my fear of whatever.
Yeah,
and he's all, and he's trying to think of something serious to say, and he's like, I'm freaking out, man. I'm freaking out. So when it's time for dinner, he's like, I'm sorry, Joan, I just can't do it. I was trying to figure
out, like, okay, so obviously he came on the show for the exposure.
He was very honest with her. He goes, I never expected to get this far. I thought it would be great for my business, for whatever.
That's what I was going to say, because he was the only one who showed exactly where he worked, showed his business, went to his business for his hometown.
Yep.
So
he was like, very honest.
Everybody, Pascal's in Chicago.
So when he was just like...
Had Joan do her hair.
I honestly didn't expect to be this far. I've had a wonderful time, but I'm just not in love with you. And then he was very honest. Now, from hometown until they go to Tahiti, I don't know how long it's been. I think it's been almost 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. He was very open about the fact that he was madly in love with somebody and they had an on and off again relationship. And then when it was off again, his daughter signed him up for the Golden Bachelorette.
Right. So maybe they weren't done yet.
Well, I just don't think he might have been necessarily ready to jump into another relationship. But he's like, I'll go. It's ABC. I'll get on this show. So he did not expect Joan to go all the way with him, like as far as I'm going to get this far in the competition. And then all of a sudden he's like, crap, there's a woman who actually wants to maybe marry me.
She cares about me and I can't.
So what I found, and Joan's fine. I mean, she's not, I don't know. She seems a bit superficial, which is why I think you and I both thought maybe they would be perfect for each other.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to fall in love with anybody on this show.
She's not in love with anybody.
No.
Well, I think after first of all, she couldn't even believe that one of these men wouldn't want to be with her.
But of all of them, I would believe him.
And it never occurred to her that one of them would back out.
Yeah.
But I think the reason that she was so upset is that she was going to choose Pascal.
Yeah, I do too.
Because she's like, well, you remind me of my husband. Oh, yeah, that's just what a man wants to hear.
I know, huh?
Like,
I don't, you know what? Honestly, I don't blame her for him leaving.
No, it's not her fault.
At all. I think that he
was feeling like, shoot, this is serious.
Yes, but I also think I would not be surprised if this other woman that he was in a serious relationship is 30.
Well, and not only that, Stephanie, but what if they had a interaction in between the hometown?
Well, yeah,
and
but he
because this ex is just like, wait, what is Pascal doing?
His ego is so huge. There is no way he's going to be with a woman his same age.
I will also tell you this. He is the most authentic of all of these men. Yeah. Even though he owns it. Oh, for sure. Like, he's fully like, this is who I am.
Yeah. No, I agree. The only thing I didn't like about it was that it really, if you were ever wondering how real or not real the show was, it made it very obvious that none of it's real.
Well, especially when he started getting honest.
Well, totally.
Yeah, he's like,
No, and she had said to him in other episodes, like on group dates, she's like, you just don't seem to care. Like,
and it's attractive.
Right? She's like, you're the only one that's not like pining for me. And now all these other men, you're just in the background like, I'm cool. Like, I don't need to prove anything to anybody.
Yeah, because I'm here to promote my business. Basically. So there was an interesting article that came out the day after Pascal left. And it was with, I believe, Glamour magazine. And I read 90% of the article. And basically he said, Chalk is a maniac. He's like, that guy is so damn aggressive. He goes, we were all like, what are you doing? Why are you acting like that?
At the bowling alley?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're like, his behavior at the bowling alley was very ungentlemanlike. Yeah. He's like, he can't, like, what side of the bed do you sleep on? Hey, let's just get out of here. Let's forget all of this. He's like, he's love bombing her constantly.
Yeah, I don't like it.
And he's like, I hope Joan recognizes it because it's not authentic. And he's like, and we all found it very ungentlemanly.
I think the reason why she continues to choose him is, one, production.
He makes me feel safe.
And two, he's of the choices that she had. He's like, what's the word? The lesser of two evils. None of the men they gave her were truly. I didn't feel
they were no standouts.
No,
not really.
I mean, they were all great guys.
Of course they are.
And they would be perfect for someone.
Yes.
They were just not for her.
Not for her.
And they were obvious, putting them on the show for what they brought to the show. Exactly. Not for whether or not they were going to be compatible with her.
Casting was great. I'm unsure if Joan was the perfect person for this. I don't know if they chose.
They need to stop picking these fucking widows that are heartbroken and that are never going to, you know what I mean?
That's the thing, is they need to stop picking the ones that aren't over their husband
kind
yet.
Of what I liked about the Golden Bachelor.
Gary.
Well, Gary was over his wife, although he truly loved her. But most of the women, with the exception of Joan and maybe one or two other ones, were just single. Because they were probably married to some asshole before, and they decided to get divorced, and they were perfectly happy.
There were a few widowers, but they got eliminated fairly quickly.
Yeah, they just weren't.
They weren't the one.
I mean, why pick the widower who was like with her soulmate for 40 years?
Well, like Teresa was married him, and he died.
Yeah, but it had been 10 years
at least
since her husband had died.
She was well on her way to And
I kind of feel like Teresa was one of those women who, I don't think her marriage was like Joan and her husband.
I agree with you on that completely.
I think she was kind of quite happy to be independent.
Just like, oh no.
She had already been making her own money and doing her own thing, and it was like, okay, now I don't have to clean up smelly socks and dirty underwear.
It's so true,
and I have all my things.
So Pascal was like, Chalk is a beast, and so I thought that was super funny. And then he said,
I think she's gonna pick Guy.
He goes, here's what he goes. Everybody was perfectly fine. He goes, I selfishly agreed to do it to give myself a little promotion. Yeah. Free promotion, whatever.
It's fun.
So the journalist asked, they're like, well, did you get anything out of it? He goes, I got nothing out of it. Bullshit. Nothing. He goes, nothing hasn't changed. No one's come in and go, hey, I saw you on The Bachelor. Nothing. He goes, and of course, he's all, business is amazing. He goes, but as a hairstylist, if you work in the hair industry, he goes, hours is money. He goes, and I still have to work just as much as I did before The Bachelorette. Right. So nothing has changed,
I'll go get a haircut from Pascal if I'm ever in Chicago.
Yeah.
I would.
I mean, who wouldn't?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly.
Just for fun.
Just for fun.
Yeah.
So anyway,
He's
he's like, no, nothing happened. He goes, nothing. My life has not improved or worsened since The Bachelorette. It's basically just been a nothing burger, which I found very refreshing. And then he said,
he is funny. I would watch him on something else.
He goes, and here's the other reason why he
should be the Golden Bachelor.
Except, as you said, he probably wouldn't want to date anyone.
Yeah, that's true.
He's like 69.
I know.
And
he is?
He looks good.
He does look good.
Looks very good for 69.
But I don't think that man dates in his,
I think
age
he's
range.
probably a little on the
Why
younger
would
side.
he
Doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to. He's rich. He has all these things.
Yes.
Why?
So
there's plenty of women who throw themselves away for an old dick and some money.
He said the biggest, one of the main reasons why he also backed out, other than the fact that he didn't have the feelings that he needed to continue, and he felt it was unfair to Joan.
Yeah.
Was he goes, I don't understand why they're calling everybody from all over the country. He goes, they have to be regional. He goes, I want to wake up with my lover every day. I don't want to have to travel on the weekends.
To Maryland
or wherever. He's like, that's not my, he goes, I don't want to do long distance. He goes, I'm old. I have my habits. I want to wake up, have my coffee, have my lover with me.
The reason why Gary and what's her name didn't work out.
That's exactly why they didn't work out.
Neither one of them were moving. They're like, absolutely not.
He's like, we're older. He goes, we don't have the ability to uproot our lives and move from New Orleans to New York.
Right.
He's like, we are here. We're established.
Yeah.
We have our families with us, so why?
Yeah.
He goes, if you want to do a regional thing, he goes, I'll date somebody who's in the suburbs of Illinois.
Yeah.
He goes, but I'm not interested in Northern
Moving
California.
Across the country.
So I'm like, well, that's a real valid. That's really valid considering that you're not dealing with 20-year-olds.
No, not at all.
So
these are people who have lives and they're rooted.
So he literally said that. He goes, if you want a successful couple, he goes, you're going to have to change the makeup of the game.
Yeah, I would agree.
And I'm like, yeah.
Do it like they do Top Chef. Have it in one state the whole time.
So then there was some okay, so where would the first location be?
It would have to be somewhere fabulous. It can't be fucking Kansas.
LA, Florida,
New York.
Or anywhere where there's a nice hub.
The Hamptons. I think
Southern California is ripe for this.
For sure.
There's so many people.
Yeah.
It would be, and I mean, it's just for ease of production.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, let's be honest, Florida would give us some exceptional personalities. And you and I both know it. And because the state is so close to so many others, you could literally pull. You could pull from Alabama,
Georgia. Oh Lord!
I mean, it could be kind of fun. What do we do in our day?
They'd have to do a lot of dental work before that production.
We're going swamp bogging.
Oh God, I would hate that though.
Stephanie,
I wouldn't even want to watch it from we're gonna take the alligator boat to the swamps and see these old people with their hair flying and they're like,
what's the group date? Well, we're going to the world-renowned alligator center. All of us will be I'll be feeding rabbit carcasses to the alligators.
Oh, that would actually be funny. I would like that actually.
Pascal, come have this alligator.
That's the only thing about this show. We talked about that last time. It's like, stop making old people do things like they're like the kickball. I mean, they were so fucked up. Those men probably couldn't walk for a week after that episode.
It was horrible.
They had to bring in a doctor to the mansion.
Guy couldn't do it.
He was fucked up.
He's like, help. Yeah, so I think one of two things.
Don't do that.
I think that she will either
wine tasting or whatever.
And I also read Guy is actually retiring. He's not.
Well, she said it.
Yeah, I did not realize that.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was like, why though? Because doctors work so damn much.
Well, maybe he just is ready to do something.
No, I'm glad he's retiring.
Oh,
I'm why get into a relationship if you're going to be working, 14 hours a day, 7 days a week?
Now, I will be honest. I do think that Guy and I do think Guy and Joan would make an amazing little couple. I think
he's very attractive.
He's super, and she finds him physically attractive already. I have a thing with his teeth, but it's not for me. That's fine.
I'm trying to think.
It's fine.
Does he have a big teeth? He
has some veneers that are a little large, but it's fine.
Okay.
You know, I mean,
he probably got them for the show.
Perhaps. And you can grow into those. You never know. But anyway.
Lips get smaller as you get older, so everything looks more pronounced.
She is a private school administrator. Apparently what she does is secure funding for the private school. So she does still work.
College?
I don't know. They didn't indicate what it is, but she does work.
I know she works.
Yeah, so she is an administrator for a private school. She basically wines and dines rich people to give them money for their school.
That would explain why she's got a lot of class, which she does.
Well, she's accustomed to socializing with a certain level of
She's
people.
got that etiquette about her, which I appreciate because I can't stand a rough woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I just
so
cannot.
anyway, so Guy would fit right in with that, I think, as well. So we'll see. It's either that or she's leaving alone.
Yeah. There's no way she's picking Chalk.
Chalk.
God. We would all be screaming at the TV
Honestly,
if she did.
It wouldn't work out. In fact,
Never.
you know what would happen? We'd get the black panel to be like, Chuck and Joan have lovingly decided to remain friends.
Yeah.
And that'll be the end of it.
Please respect them during this time of privacy.
Oh my God.
I know.
So anyway, one more episode. They were going to do it'll be the live
too,
audience.
So they're going to do the Men Tell All.
The tell all.
That will be in between, so we have to wait.
Zero interest.
No, I know. Other than the fact that they'll all be it'll be like a bachelor reunion for those guys because they loved each other so much.
That is true.
In the mansion,
Are we
they
like
were funny, and I do kind of like it when they do, like when they show outtakes from clips we didn't see.
True, there will be a lot of that.
And there will be that. And these men, I can't even imagine what stupid shenanigans they were up to while they were staying in this mansion.
So, General Kim, how's the disposal? You know the disposal's never worked better since you fixed it.
There's going to be some funny stuff in
Yeah,
that.
it'll be cute.
So I'll watch it off. I'll do my DVR.
I'll fling through it.
Me too. But then we'll have the finale.
And then we'll have the finale. So what do you think the likelihood is she leaves alone?
50-50.
Oh, me too.
I think that the producers will want her to pick someone.
Yes.
So that has the happy ending we all want to see.
It just depends.
But yeah.
But she's given us nothing.
I don't think she's into it.
I don't
I
either.
really don't think she's into it. I think she's like, you know what? If I have to pick, I'll pick Pascal. He's got a lot of money.
We'll have a good time.
He can fly me back and forth,
Right.
or he can come see me. We can whisk away to Rio and do all those things because he's got money. And,
and I don't know if it looked great on her, but when she said, "Will you remind me of my husband?" He was very
outgoing, life of the
spontaneous,
party.
outgoing. He liked nice things, and I'm like,
yeah, probably not.
Come on, don't
and
say
I mean,
that.
if she was 35, he would have been all over it.
Probably
For sure. Because she is beautiful. Yeah. But I'm sure he's looking at her like, why would I date someone who looks their age when I've been dating women who are half your age?
Right.
And
even a 50-year-old is 20 years younger than him.
Thank you. And not only that, but men like Pascal, and I like him, don't get me wrong.
I do too.
But they thrive on women who worship them. And younger women will worship a man his age because he has money.
Until they want a
child. For no other reason. Yeah.
And then they'll be like, hey, I want a child. He goes, I'm going to Leo DiCaprio you.
Right?
You got to go, honey. I don't do children.
Right. Yeah, no.
Yeah. I have my children. It's over.
Yeah. And he did have beautiful children. You were right about that.
They were very good looking people.
Very,
anyway. All right. Well, then the next time we talk, we will have a solution to all of our burning questions.
That's true. And then also there are some new shows coming up.
We have to decide what we want to
watch. Real
watch.
Housewives of Beverly Hills is
BH.
premiering. Yeah, that's always a semi-decent one. We'll see if they bring any new housewives. But Kyle Richards got divorced from her husband.
Mauricio and Kyle,
of
yes.
38 years.
I don't understand that.
Well, he cheated, so...
I know.
And it wasn't the first time.
Well, I think she just decided she didn't need it
She was
anymore.
just done with it, yeah.
And her kids are older.
Yeah,
And
so
I
a lot
think
of
that's
those
all to do
housewives
with
are
it.
getting divorced. Another one announced a divorce yesterday.
Yeah, somebody said they didn't
Teddy
care.
Mellencamp.
Teddy Mellencamp.
Like John Mellencamp Cougar Jr., whatever that guy's name is.
Or daughter or whatever.
It's his daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't care, but it made the news. So.
I wish I had kept up on it. I used to be a hardcore Real Housewives
She
fan.
hasn't been a housewife in a couple years. They kicked her off. She's boring.
And I used to love like New Jersey and New York and OC.
They're all new now. I don't know any of those
And then
people.
Beverly Hills came in, and I did like Beverly Hills for a time, but I don't know, man. I'm really struggling with it now, and I'm just unsure.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is they all get on the show. Most of them get on the show married, and they almost all leave the show divorced.
That is the number one reason why I would never do the show.
Yeah. Dorit Hemsley, she's married to PK Hemsley, who is George, what's his name? George, the boy George. I'm like the weird one that
He's
wears
married
makeup.
to Boy George?
No, he's been his manager and his agent for 1,000 years.
Oh.
And amongst a lot of other, he's an entertainment agent. And so he does a lot of famous people, but they've had him on the show several times doing cameos. Well, they're getting divorced.
Oh, not to completely change the subject, but
Change it. No one cares.
Sister Wives. We don't talk about Sister
No,
Wives.
I still recorded it. I don't know why.
Oh, I don't record it. I can't bear to watch it.
I haven't watched it, but I haven't. But there are TikTok like little clips.
They help me. There are a few TikToks accounts where they are so dedicated, and I so appreciate it because I have no interest.
Yeah, because he is such a.
Oh my God,
douchebag.
There's so much about him that I cannot tolerate. And Robin is.
I can't with her.
Stephanie, she's so much like her stepmother. I just want to punch her in the face.
Maybe that's why I hate her with so much heat.
Like, I hate him a lot too, but he's just delusional.
Well, he's delusional, and the two of them together are
Well, first of all, somebody made a comment and they said there was something going on. They're like, well, she has clearly has some kind of shopping addiction, which I don't think is much of a secret. I said, yeah. And then she's like, but why? Somebody's like, well, why was she up at 1 a.m. crying in the bathroom, during one of these shows or whatever? And I'm like, I've seen that pill slur many times in my life. That girl has a pill problem.
Oh, could be.
I think so.
For sure.
I'm putting it out there. I'm like, I've seen that before. I know what that looks like. They're like, how is she going to be awake? Da, da, da. I'm like, she doesn't have an alcohol issue.
No, she doesn't.
She got a pill issue.
Definitely. There's more than one ways to have an issue.
That's correct. Anyway, so I can give you a recap on that. On what's going on. But
well,
one of their oldest daughters, Maddie, started a podcast.
Oh, really?
So she's spilling a little tea.
About the show. Okay. About her family.
Not a ton. She's completely on the outs with her dad.
Shocking.
They've completely, I
think the only person he has a relationship with is Robin's kids. And half of them aren't even fucking his.
Yeah, you're right.
She had 2 kids when she married him.
That's right. 3.
Or 3. Whatever they were. Yeah.
3.
And which they're all, I think, pretty much grown up
they're all
now.
Adults.
But she had her Solomon and Ari.
Ari.
Yes.
Well, we're not allowed to make fun of them. It's mean. Apparently.
I mean, I'm not making fun of the kids. It's the whole thing is nauseating to me. And you're right. Even when I see old episodes, like clips of old episodes when she was young and he was first, and I'm like, oh God, she was a manipulating cunt back then. We just didn't see it because we were still buying the whole.
We were just watching
plural
it.
marriage. They want to be married, and they're all in, and he has different relationships with different women, and it was all a lie.
It's so true. But there's been a lot of really strong opinions about this season. So maybe we'll talk about that.
Well, I will say this. I'm grateful for the show because when I did used to watch it, polygamy and all that, it was always such a mystery to me. And for whatever weird reason, I was intrigued by it.
It's just fascinating.
But they've quashed any idealistic thoughts I had about it working, or it could, hey, everybody has a choice. Let them do it. I'm like, no.
What I really love is that TLC has created this new, they've really turned on Cody quite a bit.
Yeah.
And so they
just let him talk.
Oh, they do.
They're
they
like,
love
go
it.
ahead.
And then they'll show the receipts. It's just really, really fascinating.
And I like the chick they've been using for the reunion.
Oh, the interviews?
Yeah.
No one likes her.
Why?
They just think that she throws Cody too many softballs. But what I've noticed is when
she's smart enough because he'll walk out. Well, he's
that's
the type.
That's the thing, is that when she's like, so Robin's really the love of your life, isn't she? And he's like, I'm not talking about her. He won't even acknowledge that she is the love of his life. He won't even acknowledge. She goes, like, well, he's like, well, but you love her, Cody? And he's all, change of subject.
Why is it so difficult for him to
I don't know.
Be honest about that?
I don't know. But you know what he said a couple weeks ago? He said, it's Robin's fault I'm so in love with her.
Oh, I did see that.
And I'm like,
if any woman is in love with me, it's her fault.
I'm like, what? He goes, because if a woman's not in love with me, or if I'm not in love with a woman, it's her fault. Yeah. Like, he won't take accountability for anything. Good
He's
or
such
bad.
A narcissist. Yeah.
Good or bad. I've never seen anything like it. I want psychiatrists to just prop open his brain and look at it.
He's definitely a narcissist, but I don't know what else he is.
It's crazy. He's something. It's so... I'm just so glad I don't know him in real life.
I know, and I love that all of the women that have left him, all of them, are just like, honestly, they have just come to this epiphany, and some of them took longer than others.
Definitely, they're all thinner. They look better.
Happier.
And they're happier.
Healthier. Everything. Except for Mary. She's a sad little human.
No, Mary looks great.
Does she?
Oh, yeah. She got Botox. She's
good for her.
Spray tanning. She's got friends.
Is she on Ozempic?
No, but she doesn't really need it.
I don't think she really needed it before.
She dropped a lot of weight. I mean, she fluctuates like we all do. But everybody's perimenopausal
There was
now.
just a period of time where she was heavier than she had been. Yes. And then he was quick to let that be pointed out.
God damn.
Him and Robin, you know.
Oh, my God. You know what,
well,
Robin?
all the women are fat, and that's why he's not attracted to them anymore.
I wanted to slap her so hard. I'm like, listen, goiter neck. No one has any room to talk in this little area over here.
Right?
Honestly.
Including you.
That's
you
what
troll.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, you look like your mother, and that's not a good thing. Sorry.
I'm pretty sure she had that haircut when she was 12.
God, Stephanie, she's just so miserable.
Can't with her. Well, I hope she's happy. She got what she wanted.
I just want my dream Christmas.
Oh my God.
I hate her so much.
I hate
a stranger. How is this even a thing? How can I? She's either the best villain that's ever been created for reality television in the history of reality TV,
Right.
or she's really that awful. I don't know.
I don't know. She has to be a little bit that awful.
Does she have friends? I don't know.
We'll never know. But I don't think she could pull off the way she comes across if she wasn't that. You can't even fake it that good.
I don't like women like her.
Yeah,
I don't like that. I don't know. I know I shouldn't hate people I don't know, but I'm really struggling.
Well, who cares? She doesn't know who we are, and it's fine.
True.
So she's the one that put her life on TV, not us.
So true. All right. Well, next week we'll dish again on the Golden Bachelorette and see if Joan leaves alone with her memories.
Well, at least she gets to go to Tahiti.
My walls are back up. Okay, Joan. All right. Bye.
Bye.